and my partner, my paycheck, my passport, and my friends. So anytime anything stressed me out, I would go PPPF and just go pff. So anytime I would get stressed out or panic, I'd go pff.
Hey sailors, welcome back to Cruising as Crew. My name is Lucy and I am here with Jordan.
Hello.
So today we're going to be talking about Jordan's job on board the cruise ship. So, hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very excited. So, Jordan, tell us, what is your job title?
So I am on board as the balancer. So I'm the onboard ambassador for detox and retox, making sure people are drinking and having a great time, and then also at the spa or in a fitness class.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah,
Very nice. So you're part of the happenings cast?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. Okay, so why, because for anyone who doesn't know, there's quite a lot of positions within the happenings cast. Like, there's the balancer, there's the hostess, there's the foodie, there's... What else is there?
There's the spark, there's the flair, the gamer. So what Virgin has done is they've taken the cruise director position on a normal cruise ship, and they've kind of deconstructed it. They were like, what does the cruise director do on a normal cruise ship?
Okay.
What are all their different facets? You know, they teach fitness classes, they teach a dance class, they'll teach, they'll have a show, they'll sing a song, they'll do trivia. So what we did is we looked at all of that, and they were like, let's create personas based on all of it. So there's 13 of us.
Love it.
Yeah.
And then, so why did you decide on the balancer? Or was it a decision you made, or was it kind of made for you?
It was all kind of happenstance. I was a personal trainer and performer in New York. I did a lot of run clubs and classes around as a personal trainer at Equinox, and I had a friend who was on the creative team for Happenings.
Okay.
And I think they had somebody, and something happened where she wasn't able to make it onto the ship back in 2020.
Okay.
And so with maybe 10 days before the start of the contract, my friend called and said, hey, is this something you're interested in? And he described the job, and I was like, I get to perform and do personal training and teach and work out and dance and have a good time. And he was like, yes. And I was like, sign me up.
Yeah.
So I kind of just fell into this role, and it's been really fun to see what I bring to the table, and then, you know, whoever comes after me. Anna right now over at Scarlet she's a dancer focused, so she does a whole different kind of workout.
Right, okay.
She brings a whole different vibe to the balancer. It's so fun to see everyone bring what they want to bring to it.
Wow, okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So you said you did a lot of stuff in New York and you had a lot of transferable skills from your time in New York.
Yes.
So did they ask for any specific experience for this job, or?
Yes, so you have to have some kind of teaching experience.
Okay.
So most of the balancers that come on, I have my fitness background, but I also am lucky because I have a performance background. There's some who teach dance, and that's their bread and butter when they're at home.
Right, okay.
They teach dance classes, they teach dance fitness. So that kind of is their background. Whereas I like more HIIT. I have CrossFit background, so I really like slamming balls down, jumping on boxes, running around. I like very intense, so I host those kind of events when I'm working, but then somebody else might do a dance class. So it's been a lot of fun. The skills, everyone brings in a different skill set and a different skill level into the role, and is able to kind of create their own energy and their own vibe for the persona.
Amazing. Okay, so what classes what do you do on board?
So on day one, I lead the bar crawl around the ship.
Okay.
I host PJ party. We do a lot of the parties around the ship, and then I also work with the spa to make sure that people are booking in to their spa experience, the thermal suite, the quartz bed table, that seaweed stuff.
Oh my god, the quartz bed table.
Oh my god, isn't it so... It like recenters your chakras. You wake up crying, but like in the best way. Like I have a release. Yeah. It's so good.
It's insane.
I know.
I've never experienced anything like that before.
Yeah, I tell everyone, I'm like, you have to. It's life changing.
Yeah, it really is.
It like recenters all your chakras. They put you on a quartz bed. They wake you up with a sound bath. It's incredible.
Yeah.
so I help them with that, and then I teach a class called Work It Circuit, which is a circuit class that I do 3 days throughout the voyage that gets harder as the sailors keep coming back.
Okay.
And I teach VHS, which is my favorite. It is an 80s inspired shake weight class. So it's like Jane Fonda and shake weights. It's so much fun.
Oh my God. I really, that is the one thing that I haven't done that I'm like, I
you
really,
have to.
really
Yeah,
want to.
you must.
What
It's so
time is
fun.
it on the...
It's at noon. I think we do it tomorrow at noon and on Friday. It's always on C days.
Oh, okay. Always on Saturdays.
Yeah. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Do you teach it on your own or with someone else?
I teach it with 2 other happenings.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the flare and the spark. Sometimes it's the hype and the glow.
Okay.
It just depends on the schedule and who's there, but all of us just have a great time teaching.
Oh my God. No, it does. And
wild.
everyone who goes, they go in like leg warmers, or some of them even bring like tutus. Or,
yes, headbands, wristbands.
Yeah.
They have full 80s neon outfits. They look incredible.
Yeah.
Some girls come with their hair completely like teased out in a giant high pony. Some guys come in giant wigs. It's so much fun.
Wonderful leotards. Like,
yes, and we're just laughing the whole way through. That's the point. I tell everyone, I'm like, if you're freaked out, if you're panicking because you're not getting the movement, we're doing something wrong.
Okay.
Take a breath, take a beat, get right back into it. It's like, let's just have fun. It's all fun. The name of the game is fun.
Okay, but I must say though, like people come out and they're like, it's like it was actually a workout.
Yeah. People don't realize that it's actually like you're dying. You're actually like, oh my God, wait. There's a section at the end where we have their arms out and they're like whipping and having a great time.
Yeah.
And you just see them slowly, their arms are dropping.
Yeah.
And we're like, get your arms out. And they're like, so much fun. Yeah.
Wow.
They don't know they're working out.
That sounds amazing. Well, that's the best way to work out,
yes,
right?
You're like, oops, I burned 1,000 calories.
Wow. Wow, nice. Okay. So Virgin Voyages is your first cruise line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not doing cruises. I was like, I want to settle down. I want to start a family. I have to do that. I'm not doing cruises. And so I wrote it off for years. And was just like, it takes you out of the city. I'm trying to work. I'm building clients. It doesn't make any sense. And then this came along and it just made all the sense. Everything was falling into place. I was in New York. I was starting to get very tired and burnt out. And then this job truly came into my life at the right time, and it's been a whirlwind ever since.
I always say that, like, if something is easy, it's usually the right thing to do.
Yep.
If something proves to be quite easy, and then the same, if it proves to be really difficult, it's probably the universe. This isn't the right decision.
If every day it feels like you're banging your head against the wall, it's not the right. Like, not every day needs to feel like a Monday.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if every day feels like a Monday, you're in the wrong job.
Yeah, for sure.
So. And that's a big thing too, is one of the things that I found was really finding the difference between what is your job, what is your calling, what is your career.
Wow.
Right? So like having those 3 separate things, there's a woman, I don't know her name. She speaks on finding your calling, which to me, I love fitness. I love working out and health, and that to me is my calling. So any job within that gets on track with a career that I'm hoping to build. So right now I have a passion and a job, and I'm working towards a career, and I'm okay with that. I'm in a really nice place.
Wonderful.
Like vibing and coming right up. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I've never heard that before. That's really great. Okay, so what is your like feelings towards working on cruise ships? Because it's a very different way of life being on a cruise ship.
Well, like your worst days are your worst days.
Yeah.
But it's nice because you're around a great group of people. There's always, you have a support system every 5 feet. If you think of, what I mean? Like, your friends are just a few hallways away.
Yeah.
So even on your worst days, there is a way to come out of it.
It's not like in New York where I can imagine you had friends who were like hours away.
Yeah, and just, you think about it and I'm like, wow, I cried more on a New York City subway than I had my entire life. So it's, everyone makes the joke where like New York either makes you or breaks you.
Yeah.
And it was making me, and then I stepped away right before it broke me, and the ship is truly just making me.
Okay, good.
I'm having a great, it's
you love it?
So weird. I thrive at sea. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I like the routine. I like the schedule. I like where I'm at. I like what I'm doing with my family, and I have a great relationship. So the long distance is like not anything. My sisters, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, we all message, we're talking.
Perfect.
So it works.
It works really well.
Yeah, it works really well.
And then how long are your contracts?
Mine was, we started rehearsals at the end of April, got on the ship mid-May, and then we're here until the beginning of November. So they're about 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, with a little bit of time and land
Okay.
to workshop everything.
And how do you, I mean, obviously you're very fit because that's required for your job, but like, that must be exhausting because your job is very active. Like you're either dancing or teaching a fitness class or, you know.
Yeah.
So 6 months of constant physical on the go is, you know, like by the end of it, you must be like...
Yes. Well, I tell everyone, I'm like, I live my life on this ship like I live my life on land.
Okay.
I don't go out every night. I'm not going to go to the bars. I'm not going out. Sometimes when I'm at home, I will go a whole day without really leaving my house. I'm tidying up. I'm reading a book. I'm watching a movie. You know, so like, I make sure that I hold myself accountable to who I am on land and to who I am at sea.
Right, okay.
You know, like I make sure that I'm finding time in my recharge. My downtime to fully recharge and to really, you know, I'm stretching. I'm making sure I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm making sure I'm getting plenty of food. I'm finding time to laugh. I'm finding time to sleep and, you know, find the time to enjoy my day, which makes the work I do not feel like work.
And that, I mean, that's so important. Like, there are people that get to the end of their contract and they're dead. And it's like, well, because you've been at crew bar.
Every single night. You're at crew bar every single night.
Yeah, exactly.
Till 4 a.m. sometimes.
Yeah.
And waking up and doing their job. And they're doing great. And those people, they're doing great. You would never know until that last, like, week and a half of their contract when they're just bags in their eyes.
Yeah.
But those of us that I feel like that pace ourselves, we know we have 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? So we don't have to get up. We're not like, okay, this week we're in Toulon, tomorrow we're in Marina de Carrera. You know, so we're like, we're not racing to get off every port. We're like, this week I'm going to get off in Toulon. Yeah. Next week I'll get off in Cannes. Next week, you know, so like you're able to pace yourself a little bit.
Definitely.
For the longevity.
Which is really important.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Especially knowing you want to do contract after contract. Like, you know, you think I probably have like 3 or 4 more sea contracts left in me.
Yeah.
Because a week does feel like a year sometimes. So it's nice to pace yourself to see the horizon and be like, that's my goal is November 5th. So from now in May until November 5th, how do I pay attention to myself, give myself what I need while also experiencing what this contract has to offer? Yeah. So my acronym for this contract were I had my partner, my paycheck, my passport, and my friends. So anytime anything stressed me out, I would go PPPF and just go pff. So anytime I would get stressed out or panic, I'd go pff.
That's amazing.
And it really has been such an amazing mindset because anything that stresses me out, I'm like, I don't need to give the stress of it. What about it is stressing me out? Can I problem solve it? Because it is not an emergency, right? The only emergencies on the ship are when the ship is going down. Yeah. You know, or when they're calling overhead, and that's not really ours.
No, it's nothing to do with
you know, so my mindset is take a breath.
Passport, paycheck,
partner, and friends.
And friends.
Yeah, so I got it. And if you have those, you're set. You're set.
That is genuinely the best thing.
Yeah, literally, it's been my acronym, PPPF.
Okay, well, I'm going to steal that.
Yeah, do it.
No, that is the best thing.
It's the best. Yeah.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like, how... So last contract on Scarlet, you know, it's like 4 and 5 days. Yes. And I did 9 months on Scarlet, or just past 8 months. So I was there from June, the start up, through end of January, beginning of February, which is great. I had a lot of fun, but it's a 5-4 rotation. So and that was my first full contract, right? Because we were here pre-pandemic, and that was only a couple of months. So to come back and do a full contract was a lot of fun, but it was the learning curve of me pacing now. Right. So I was tired. I was very tired at the end of January, beginning of February. So when I left, I was like, how do I come back with a better mindset? How can I make sure I pace myself? How can I make sure I don't get emotionally involved into the decisions that the company is making that I too feel very strongly about? You know? Yeah. You know, they're like, we're making this decision. You're like, yes! You know? Or like, oh no, how can we make that happen? You do get involved. You like your job. We like the company. You know, so... But also I think it's very, like, I think it's one of the most important skills to have is being able to detach yourself from work and decisions because unlike
having a job on land where you get a weekend and you literally leave the place of work,
you leave it
and go home for the weekend.
Yeah, you get to walk away fully.
Yeah, and you don't have to see your boss or anyone you work with.
For like 2 full days.
Yeah.
2 full days.
2 full days. Or you can like...
If you're in Switzerland, you get 3 full days.
Really? Oh, wow. Okay, I'll go to Switzerland.
No.
Or even you can book time off if you have a job on land. Like you can book a week off. You can't do that on a cruise ship. Like you don't have weekends. You don't get to book a week off. Like your time off is at the end of your contract. So it's really important to know how to detach yourself when you're still in it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Headphones are great. Headphones are great.
Yeah.
Finding the small spaces around the ship. I mean, finding the little nooks and crannies to hide in.
For sure.
Because even when you're off the clock and you're in a sailor space, they're still going to ask a question. You're still wearing your name tag. Yeah. So you're wearing a name tag. You are conscious about what you're saying when you're in sailor areas. So you're sitting having dinner and a sailor's going to come up and say like, hey, totally welcome.
Yeah,
it's always welcome, but you're never fully off on a cruise ship. So it is finding that time, making sure that like, okay, I'm going to go eat today in this space. I know that sailor's going to be there. I'm going to be available to help them while I eat, and it's going to be, and I'm down for that. There are other times when you're like, okay, I need to make sure I have 30 minutes. I really need to eat and focus. I'm going to go to crew mess and eat there.
When no one's going to talk to me.
So it depends. It depends. If you're in a sailor space, I'm open. I'm open to have conversations. I'm down. So then it's finding that time to maybe enjoy the crew space a little bit more. Yeah. To find time to be on your own.
For sure. Sure. And then how long are your vacations?
It depends. So I think our next vacation would be probably like 3 months.
Okay.
So like they're 3 or 4 months depending on the rotation of the ships now. So there's a slight overlap of rehearsals in Orlando, and everyone's on a rotation as well. So I have no idea how the shoreside team manages the schedules. They're crazy talented at what they do and organizing everything. Just leave it to them.
Yeah, just like, I'll come back.
And I was like, you guys are great at what you're doing. Just like, I still want to be here. Just let me know. And
they make it happen. Back,
let me know when I come back. I'm here. And they're like, great.
Amazing. Yeah. Okay. And then, so what is your favourite and least favourite thing about working on a cruise ship?
My favourite and least favourite thing about working on a cruise ship. My favourite thing about working on a cruise ship is exploring the world.
Okay.
That is like my go-to. I never thought I would see as much of Europe as I have this contract.
Yeah.
I mean, later this week we're doing a crew trip to Cinque Terre.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I was like, that's amazing that my job is organizing a trip for me to go explore.
Yeah.
So I would say that exploration is the best about working on a cruise ship.
Yeah.
The least favorite thing I think would be so much time away from family and loved ones.
Okay.
Sometimes it does get a little bit hard knowing that, my nephew turned 16 while I was on a cruise ship. So I missed his sweet 16, wasn't able to give him the, be there to celebrate. He got his car, and all that kind of stuff. One of my nieces was born during the pandemic, but I was in the UK, so then I came straight onto the ship, so I haven't really met her yet. So there's like small things where you're like, I wish this was still an opportunity.
Yeah.
But then you just but then that time together in between contracts is even sweeter because you get to see everybody and do all the things, get all the hugs, do what you need to do.
Yeah. And it's really true, like distance makes the heart grow fonder. And I think, like genuinely, I think the reason I have such good relationships with people back at home is because I don't see them for 6 months of the year because... when you're constantly exposed to someone or you have access to them, you kind of lose appreciation for them.
Yeah.
And it's just human nature, Whereas, like my mom, I mean, we definitely make the most of each other when I'm home because it's a finite amount of time. Whereas if we were constantly together, we'd probably drive each other mad. So,
yeah.
it's just how it is, isn't it?
Yeah. It's beautiful, I think, to have that relationship with your family where you've gone away and come back. I always tell everyone, I'm like, the best thing you can do is to move away from your hometown for like a year.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a year, just move away, see something else, and then come back. It'll create a different relationship with your family completely. it'll create a different view on how you view the world and how you view your hometown.
100%.
And so I tell everyone, I'm like, just spend a year away from home. And not that you have to move away forever, but like just to get an appreciation of who your parents are, where they've been, how they've traveled, and then also to grow into yourself a little bit more. Sometimes it's nice. That year away really does it.
Makes a huge difference. I mean, I grew up in a really small town in England, so like I remember when I was 16, I was like, it's so boring, it's horrible. You know, you're a 16-year-old, and then I went away and came back, and I was like, God, I'm so lucky that it was so safe and it's so pretty, and it, you know, and you just you see the good in it. Where did you grow up?
Small town in North Carolina.
Oh, right, okay.
Hillsborough, very very tiny. The closest things to it are a city an hour away and another city like 45 minutes.
Wow,
Raleigh, Durham.
okay.
Everyone says they're like, it's Raleigh, Durham area. It's Hillsborough. Very small. Well, Chapel Hill is close, but very small town. When I grew up, there wasn't a lot. You know, they just flew their first Pride flags like 3 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
So it's coming up. You know, but to grow up there, my family was from upstate New York.
Okay.
I was the only one. Like my sisters were born upstate. I was born in North Carolina. So my whole life, I was like, oh, my family's from New York. I'm not going to get an accent. I'm not staying here, you know. And I was like, I was very determined that I would leave my small town.
Anti-North Carolina.
I was very anti-North Carolina to the point where I look back and I'm like, oh, I shortchanged some of my interactions and some of my relationships there.
Right, okay.
So I think back and I'm like, oh, I should reach out to that friend again. I should reach out to that person because in high school you have those friends. But you're like, I'm getting out of here, and your friends are like, yeah, you are. But you don't mean to lose those connections with people. Yeah. So I think that was my biggest thing is when I moved away, I had to come back and start reaching out to people and say, hi, let's grab a coffee. Let's do this. Hi, you know, because you're not better than where you're from. There are just other things available to you elsewhere.
Yeah.
So there's that mind, you know, you never want to have the mindset of I'm better than this place.
Of course.
There's just other things to explore to come back to that place. It's home.
Yeah. But no, that's really, really great advice. And for sure, I think everyone who's moved away has the same story, I guess, with their hometown. So interesting.
Yeah, to look at your parents as fellow adults.
That's wild.
That was a wild realization.
To realize that your parents aren't all knowing and they're just people doing the best they can.
Yeah, you're also flawed humans. That's crazy. Yeah. So that's been really fun because my parents now and we call each other and we're like, hey, we're struggling with this, or like I'm having a really bad day. You know, we talk to each other now like we're friends.
Yeah, and it's lovely.
Which is such an amazing relationship to have. And honestly, I think it's because I moved away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also such a little shit when I was a kid. So glad about where I am now.
Yeah, but that space really can make your relationships better. So
yeah.
But anyway, I mean, we kind of got off topic there, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I think that is everything.
Cool.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, of course.
But if you have any questions for Jordan that we haven't answered, then you can leave them in the comments down below and I will ask Jordan and get back to you in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.